Welcome to the Handyman Customs. Today we'll be talking about this Kia bike. It's called a workhorse. So I'll be showing you guys the engine and explaining in detail what are the components of the engine, just more in detail so that everybody knows. But today on this episode we'll be talking about this workhorse, reliable workhorse bikeys. So guys, here's the engine. So I'm going to explain to you the parts of the engine, certain parts that you guys might not know or be aware of. So this is called the radiator. So what the radiator does actually is it uses water or a coolant, which is called antifreeze, to cool the engine down. Normally in high temperatures or when the engine gets hot, it needs some cooling down, and this is where the radiator works. So here on the side we have a fan which actually helps cool when the engine is running. The fan cools the radiator down. Yes, so you can see there's a block of a pipe here that actually goes into the engine that cools the engine down. And here we have, well, basically here inside is what we call a timing chain that actually magnitudes how the engine is supposed to run and from how everything is supposed to operate within the engine inside. And here we have what is called a common rail. This is actually for the fuel line. This is actually a fuel line that is actually used to transport the fuel inside the engine and out. So, and here we have what we call the fuel injectors, and this is actually a diesel engine, and it's a 2.5 D4CB engine, actually a Kia engine and a Hyundai engine. So on here we have what we call the fuel pump. This bike uses a high pressure fuel pump. So there's a fuel pump here, and here we have the injectors here, and here is what we call a tippet cover. Normally underneath the tippet cover it's your camshafts and rockets, which generally help the engine to operate. And here is where we pour our oil in, or check how much oil you have in the bike. And I don't know if you guys can see behind there, that's a module for the engine that helps detect if there's any problems on the engine. This is what I'm actually talking about here. And on the other side here we have the alternator. This is what we call the alternator, guys. Normally it helps charge the battery and just to keep the engine running. So what we have, the belt that we have here, it's called a fan belt. Normally it goes underneath there too as well. I don't know if you can guys see it. And those things on the fan belt, we call them actually pulleys, that when the engine runs, they make everything on the belt run. So on the side, guys, this is where we check the engine oil. So on this side you can actually see the alternator well. This actually helps charges the battery. And the engine has a turbo, so it's a turbocharged engine, very reliable engine. So I'm just gonna show you guys a little bit of a glimpse of where's the turbo. That's actually what we call a turbo of a car. It helps actually boost the car. So that is the turbo of the car. I don't know if you guys can see properly, but that is the turbo of the car. And I just want to show you guys, there's certain things that a diesel car uses, and it's actually called glow plugs. So I want to show you guys what are glow plugs. So that's a manifold there, and here are your glow plugs. So this is what we actually call glow plugs.